On July 2nd, my boyfriend's little brother, who is only 12 years old and was born in this country, a legal U.S. citizen, was arrested while riding his e-bike at Mountain's Edge Park in Las Vegas. The incident stemmed from an older white woman calling the cops on him for riding his e-bike in the park with his friends. 6 officers chased him and assumed that he was an adult. They then arrested him, impounded his bike, brought him to jail unaware that he was a minor, and attempted bringing him to their nearest detention center for deportation. He has been in the care of his grandparents, who are both legal immigrants since he was a baby. His grandmother came from Vietnam, and his grandfather, who has no biological relation to him, came from China. They are both naturalized citizens, but when his grandfather came to defuse the situation, ICE agents began questioning him too. His grandparents were only aware of this fast enough to save his life because his friends had their number and let them know that 6 agents had just chased him and arrested him. They flashed badges, but in Vegas, this is a common way that people try to trick others so they can be easily kidnapped. This all happened because he has a Vietnamese accent, because his grandparents speak it at home as well as Mandarin, and naturally, he has adopted this and learned it as a natural part of his life because this is what's normal to him. He himself racially is a mix of Vietnamese, Chinese, Native American, Persian, and Irish. These agents now want to press him with 4 charges surrounding the arrest in court a month from now, and I will be posting an update on what happens, but they are charging him with disturbing the peace, evading and resisting arrest, initiating a chase with a quote-unquote peace officer, and disobeying a quote-unquote lawful order from a peace officer. And they still don't believe his father is a U.S. citizen and Marine Corps veteran, especially when they want to use Marines as an essential part of ICE operations. All because he's a child who got scared and ran thinking he was going to be kidnapped, which is basically what ICE is doing anyway. I wanted to make this video today to spread more awareness on this situation because I never thought the country I grew up in, where racial diversity has historically been encouraged, that things like this would take place. It is incredibly obvious that Trump has an agenda to keep us isolated from the rest of the world. He is governing us as a dictator, not a president. We all need to stand up and fight for what we believe in. Otherwise, it will continue to get much worse. They are even trying to replace TikTok with a new US-only app that will isolate us from the rest of the world's sphere of information so we can only see what the US government wants us to see. They want us to transfer all of our information over to this app, but I have a strong suspicion that this is only so they can analyze who approves of this administration or not. They cannot manipulate the way we communicate openly and freely on this app, and they are going to offer large sums of money to big creators in order to convince the public that this is a safe transition that we should make. Stay open-minded and make sure to practice media literacy as much as you can these next couple years, because things are changing and not for the better. I want anyone seeing this to know that we need to protect these vulnerable members of our communities with more diligence than ever before. They are doing everything they can to tear the American dream to shreds for their own benefit. They are taking more and more of our tax dollars while convincing people from low-income rural communities that this is what's best for us as U.S. citizens moving forward, but they aren't just wrong for their actions, they're lying by heavily manipulating the media to shift attention from what the dictator that they just voted for is doing to them by removing benefits so he can make his rich friends richer. But it won't take effect until later, so they can just blame it on whoever gets elected next instead. It's absurd, and I legitimately cannot believe that there isn't more being done about it. Not only by us, the people, but also the officials that we go out and take our precious time that we get outside of being slaves for corporations to go and vote for. The same corporations that are bribing them so it's legally okay for them to just exploit us like we're objects. It is so disturbing how okay a majority of them are with destroying authentic American communities where people from all over the world have contributed to building the foundations that we all depend on, while also destroying the lives of their most loyal constituents. We need to act fast before more irreversible damage is done. We can't keep letting them do this to us. You have the power right now with whatever device you are seeing this on to say something about it and participate in these historical events by taking the action you can on social media, with the people close to you, and in your local and state communities. Being a silent bystander is only making it more normal for things like this to keep happening to immigrants and US citizens alike. Trump himself is married to an immigrant, and by his own definition, she should be deported as well as all of his own children right now. It's obvious he's a racist and will exploit the law in any way he can to fit his agenda. I wonder how long it will take us to come back from something like this, because what he's done is absolutely despicable. And it's ruining people's lives.